Day 9 began with even bigger crowds filling the centre of Cairo calling for change. But as the day wore on, it became apparent they would not have it all their own way. The opposition claims its ranks have been infiltrated by members of the security services bent on destruction in a bid to discredit them. Now they faced overt opposition from people loyal to the old guard. Yet international support for the 82-year-old president is evaporating. Even if ally and neighbour Israel expressed its fear Mubarak's passing would herald years of instability. Opposition figurehead Mohammed El-Baradei, anticipating Friday's planned day of departure demonstration, said he hoped Mubarak would be gone by the week's end. And he said he now had proof of infiltration of the protests by agents provocateurs. As the tumultuous day ended, Egypt's new vice president told the protesters no dialogue between the government and opposition would begin until they had ended their demonstrations and calm was restored. Another factor has entered the equation. While there are plenty of fuel and food stocks in Egypt, distributing them is becoming a problem, with the ports reporting manpower shortages. While everyone is out protesting, who goes to work? Eventually, economic reality will also start to sap the opposition's energy.
While the anti-Mubarak crowds dominated the streets, passion combined with calm, but they stayed. Mubarak insisted on a phased departure, but they weren't having it. In an interview before the day's clashes, the head of the National Association for Change, George Ishaq, said of the president, "This step comes too late. It should have been taken earlier. If he really loves his country, it's time for him to leave, to let us move on to the next stage. This is the people's demand. They'll never give up until they get what they're asking for." Here our journalist interjects, "We heard El-Baradei had a meeting with the US ambassador," and Ishaq goes on, "No, that didn't happen. Our movement does not depend at all on any foreign power. We are depending on our people and the Egyptian army. That is who we are counting on." Also before the clashes, Euronews Cairo correspondent Mohammed El-Hami then spoke to Rashad Bayoumi of the opposition group the Muslim Brotherhood. After President Mubarak's speech, a lot of protesters rejected what he said. Today there are many pro-Mubarak demonstrators. What's the solution to the current political crisis? The political solution is to have a transition period so that power can be transferred peacefully, according to the Egyptian constitution, moving power to the president of the parliament, and if not to him, then to the head of the high court. Our journalist interjects, "But there's now a vice president." But who appointed this vice president? Hosni Mubarak. He has fallen after all the pressure of the demonstrations, urging him to step down. This is what people are asking him to do. This phrase is heard repeatedly. Asking.